So, well, guys, thanks again, guys, for joining us, Nathaniel, Jaden, Alicia. All right, we appreciate you guys joining us. So, just to give you guys a little background, so we have, I don't know if your parents have kind of given you a little background of what we're doing here, but we have a podcast, so to speak, called Renew Your Finance, where we teach people about financial literacy. We teach them about, being debt free, how to manage their money, how to build wealth. Through good stewardship of the resources God has given us. So, with that being said, there's one thing that we all want to do is we want to teach our kids, the information that we know, and that way we kind of prepare them for the next stages as they go from high school, college, and into adulthood. Some of the things that they guys run into. And one of the things that we did last week was we started talking to teens and talked about some of the pressures and things that you guys go through in high school and how that affects, some of the decisions that you make and some of the things that, we do that we take into adulthood. So, and I'm going to let Rondell elaborate off of that a little more. But
So good
yeah.
evening again, everyone. So as Adrian stated, let me get you to why we came up with this conversation.
Right.
Real talk. Do kids say real talk? Do they use that terminology? Do they say real talk? Am I showing my age right now? Hey, let me know. When I'm up here, if I'm starting to show my age, thumbs down, that's okay. I will take that, So
Correct.
Adrian and I, we were showing our age one day. I was on my way to work, and I was like, it has struck me very hard because I mentor some adults at work, and their kids are starting to be involved in certain fashion. And one lady in particular, her kid is just turned 12, and she was like, she's into sneakers right now. And I'm like, okay, what's the big deal about that? It's just sneakers. She's like, no, you don't get it. She's into sneakers. And I'm like, okay, I got a pair on my feet right now, so I really don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean she's into sneakers? So she started showing me the sample of the shoes that her daughter is into. So most of you may or may not wear, or some of you may have known that, before he disassociated himself with Adidas, the Jeezy brand sneakers are very popular sneakers, especially when you get into some of those rare sought off Yeezys. I can't afford a pair of Yeezys because the prices that she was telling me that her daughter wanted these pair of Yeezys for, you could buy 4 sets of tires on my car for the price of of these sneakers. So
Right.
so I'm helping a lady who's a single mother who has 2 daughters, and I'm helping her, financially plan not only for today but for her future. And now her child is starting to come to age where she's liking certain types of clothes, sneakers being one, posh fashion is being another. She's like shopping at some of these stores that is readily accessible to her because she lives upstate near DC. And so that's where me and Adrian got into this discussion, because Adrian's daughter, Alicia, just recently went to a prom, and we had her on the call last week. And we were discussing some of the prices of some of the young ladies were paying for certain prom dresses. Now, guys, and those who will join us later on, we obviously know that, that may not be your forte. You're probably not wearing a prom dress to the prom. If you do, that's okay. But at the same and that by that culture being changed in your culture because you're in high school or middle school, some of those things may influence you to not only pursue some of those clothing articles, but may have a let's just say play on your financial discipline in the upcoming future. So that's where we're coming from. We want to hear it from your perspective. And we have drafted up some questions to ask you. I don't know if your parents have shared it with you, the questions. So Alicia, Adrian may not have shared these questions with you. So you may hear this for the first time tonight. Guys, you may hear it for the first time tonight. So we just want to ask you and get it from your perspective. We ask you to be just as candid, just as open and transparent as you possibly want to be during this call. This is a judge-free zone. You can be yourself. I would ask you to, if you use some words that I'm not familiar with, I may ask you to define those words or give me some context to it. I am pretty old here, as the grade on my face depicts that. So, but we just want you to be very candid and share us from your experience, because the way we came up may not be as prevalent the way you guys are coming up in today's age, and how fashion and spending habits play a role in your lives. So we'll just open it up. Adrian, if you want to go ahead and open it up, or you had something else to add, we can go ahead and open it up with the first question and get their perspectives on those questions.
Trying to get. So we'll start out with the questions. Rhonda, if you don't mind, if you go ahead and ask the first question, they want me to go ahead and share the live, because there's some people waiting for the live to come up. So I'm trying to get the live going. Yeah. All right.
So guys, I'm gonna share this question in no order. You can just answer it, and then I'll make sure I facilitate so everyone has a chance to speak from their perspective. That's okay. So the first question I have is that do you feel influenced by your friends or your peers, buddies, surroundings, family members when it comes to buying certain brands or following specific trends? What I mean by that is that do you feel influenced or compelled by friends or family members or those who are your inner circle when it comes down to buying certain brands of clothing or anything outside of clothing, just certain brands in particular, or you feel compelled to follow certain trends? That is my first question. Anybody can just jump in at any time.
So for me, I think I'm not really influenced that deeply by what other people wear, but I think especially as I've gotten older, because I'm 15 years old, so okay. I think a lot of what I wear, I haven't necessarily discovered like my own full style yet. Like I'm still discovering what I like. So I think some of that is influenced by like the things I see my friends wear or my parents wear. But like I don't always usually go for like name brands. So I mean, as long as it like looks clean or looks good, I think I'm willing to wear it, I guess.
Okay. Who else wants to follow up with that same question? Go ahead, sir. You got it.
I feel like, I don't know. I mean, probably a similar answer. Like, I don't care as much about name brands. I mean, I do like them, but I feel like I'm not I feel like the one thing I felt pressure from, I guess, sometimes is to have a job or start driving or stuff like that, because I want to be in the same boat as them, like having my own money and like, if we went to a restaurant or something like that, being able to pay for my own stuff. But yeah, brands I haven't been as concerned about, but yeah, just being able to be independent like everybody else sometimes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Alicia, you want to add to that, ma'am? You got it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like that I like try to copy other people or anything. Well, I kind of do, but like it's mainly just their styles, not exactly what they like buy, like the brands and stuff. I don't copy that, but like I'll like wear something similar that like was like cheaper than what they got it for. Like theirs maybe like $200 and then mine's maybe like $50. And then they'll think that I spend a lot more money on it. I really didn't. I spent like less, but my style is like the same as theirs.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I can feel you on that. So let me ask you this. So right now it seems like y'all kind of really not really big in fashion. You, Nathaniel, you like what you like. Jaden, you want money because hey, everybody else is working, you want money and things of that nature. So let me ask you this question. Do any of you have a vice? Like I have a vice. My advice is on clockwork, come Black Friday, I'm going to buy the newest 2K NBA game. I've been buying, and here's the reason why I'm going to buy the game. I'm going to be 100% with you. Shonda knows we've been doing it for years. I've been playing that with that guy right up there in that corner and another brother of ours that's not on camera. We've been playing 2K for about 15 straight years. 15 straight years. So it's a habit. I feel that if I'm not buying this game, I'm going to be left out. That somehow, some way, I'm going to miss out on the opportunity of losing some games or winning some games. Few or far between, I may win a championship. Those things have been happening historically for the last 10 plus years. But do you have any vices that you feel that your circle of friends that, you know what, I know I buy this because I'm associated with that circle of friends? I'm gonna just leave that open.
So for me, when it comes to like what my friends are doing, just buying things because of my friends, I think my main example of that would be Crocs, because the first time I saw Crocs, I didn't really like the style. I didn't really like how they looked. But then I saw more of my friends start to wear them more and more. I just started to like, I guess, want them more and more because I saw it everywhere and it seemed like a comfortable shoe. But like, I think it was mostly because I saw the people wearing it. So I ended up buying my own pair. But I mean, I think that's my main thing right now. Just like, I think Crocs were the biggest thing shoes wise. But then I think like the biggest thing, like outfit wise, would probably be like techs. Like I ended up getting a Nike tech. I have one. So I think that's like a thing. But I mean, other than that, I don't think there's any big thing.
Okay. Now, I want to add something. One thing I heard both of you guys say is you like having your own money. So when I heard you say when you bought your Crocs, you bought the Crocs yourself, or did your parents get them for you?
Stuff my parents bought. But I mean, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to like I just do little things around the neighborhood or just like cut people's grass and stuff to make my own money. But I mean, I think it's just because I think if it's not a need, I think I can find a way to pay for it myself. I try my best to do that.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Go ahead.
Wait, Jaden.
Yeah, I meant to say too. So I never, I never mind asking my parents for stuff. I just think it hits me whenever I go out with friends or whatever, and I don't have as much money and I can't get as much stuff. So it just makes me want to be, on their level. But other than that, I don't think I have any vices. Like usually, I guess like what he said, when people are wearing, like if everybody's wearing something, it kind of makes me want to have it. But I don't think I've ever had that. I don't know. I guess it was one time I thought earrings would make me look cool, but now it's because everybody like had it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had like a, I don't know, like a clothing. I don't think I.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Lisa and Jaden, y'all want to chime in?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't hear the question.
So
this time.
So we kind of eliminate that clothing is not your vice. You can find a workaround to get what you particularly want. We got Nathaniel who will work for, he likes Crocs, but he's primarily paying for the Crocs based upon him doing certain things around the neighborhood. Jaden is not really enticed about what other people wear. He's more enticed about having his own money so that way when he's out and about, he can do some of the things that he would like to do. But we do know that I have a vice. I know that I will buy another 2K game. It's 100. I'm going to buy the game when it comes out. May not buy it when it immediately comes out, but come Black Friday, I'm going to come out. So is there anything based upon the people that you are involved with or surround yourself with in your environment that by being around them, it entices you to buy that? Like every year. What's up, Jay? What's up, Avery?
Hey, Jay.
Avery and Adrian forces me to buy 2K 20 whatever.
Nah, I don't think
some way to convince me that there's a coupon out there, there's a sale going on, or there's something happening where I have to spend my hard-earned money to go out there and buy this game just to be affiliated with these brothers. If I didn't buy the game, I wouldn't even be in the group. I wouldn't even be in the group. So is there certain things that you have purchased just because of the affiliation of the people that you're around, so that way you could be within that group? That's the question that I'm asking. So you got it, Alicia. Or
I'll go. So the only time I really had that was like affiliated by another person is like when my team would go out for like basketball, like when we would eat before a game and stuff, instead of like getting like a quick something like at like Wawa or something, and then they would decide to go to like Chick-fil-A or like Panera or something. That's the only time I was really enticed to really buy something, like, because Panera is not cheap. So
no.
Yeah.
so going to Panera, we went like a couple of times. That's the only time I really was like influenced by other people to get something. Cause normally I would just go to Dollar Tree and get a whole bunch of snacks. So
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe food is your vice.
yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. I know exactly where you got that from. So
The one that just talked.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So what about you, sir? Do you have did you tend to buy something based upon your affiliation in a certain group or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say probably shoes, because I think a couple months ago, my dad, he had bought one of the new pair of Jordans. So I decided to go out and buy me a pair of shoes just so I could, just so I could up my collection and feel better. Because they were buying shoes for everybody else. So I was like, everybody's getting new shoes. Let me get some new shoes. And I use them, I wear them.
Okay, we're going to come back and explore, because you said some key words in what you just said there, and I want to explore that. But I want to give my man Jay a shout out here for joining us tonight. Jay, what's up, man?
Hey, Jay.
Get yourself off of mute, baby.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
So Jay, like you missed a couple of questions, but I'm gonna bring you in because I need to get your perspective. I mean, outside of hearing you yelling at the game every Friday night, so I want to see I want to see your take on some things. So Jay, now being in high school, getting ready to drive, whatnot, do you find yourself wanting or having to have certain attire, whether it be clothes or something like that, or do you feel that based upon the people that you have yourself surrounded with, that you purchase certain things or want to purchase certain things? And if that's so, please share with us.
I feel like clothes wise, like my friends rocking the new styles and all that. I feel like I need to buy those type of clothes to fit in, but I kind of just rock with Nike all the time. So like, it's like a win-win to me, for me.
Okay, so you said Nike. You got to elaborate, because I just saw the article today. We all know that they just pulled what's John Morant's shoe off the shelf today. So elaborate what type of Nikes, which my man over here already said, if it ain't MJ, it ain't nothing. So what type of Nikes are we talking about here?
I'm talking about like Air Force Ones, probably Zion Williamson shoes.
Okay.
And Kyrie's. Well, they took those off, but yeah.
Yeah.
Keep choosing losers, but okay, that's what's up. But we'll get back to that. So I think we all got something in common here. Whether it be us wanting to have our own money so we can be, included in the people that we're hanging with, or we like Crocs because Crocs is what's hitting right now, so we're willing to go out there and work it, or we like to eat. At one point in time, you could have went to the dollar store and you could have got a, bag of gummies and some other snacks and goodies in there, but your team was going out to Panera Bread. And mind you, Panera Bread, she's not lying. Panera Bread ain't cheap at all. It's like a full-fledged restaurant. I think it's like $20 a pop for one person eating Panera Bread. Or your dad coming in there, bouncing in there with some new J's, and you feel like, you know what? I want to feel good too, so I'm going to buy me some new J's. So let's explore the word feeling, because I've heard that in here with certain people. How do we really feel when we go out and buy these things? Does it make us feel good, or is it some way we try to manufacture that feeling by purchasing these things? And so I would just open it up. So, because anybody ever, by the raise of hands, anybody ever heard buyer's remorse? I bought a Corvette because I felt like I want to feel good about myself. So I went out there and purchased a Corvette. After I bought that Corvette, I know, Jay, I should have kept it. I should have kept it for you, man. But after I bought that, after I saw your nonverbals, but after buying that Corvette, I had buyer's remorse because I ended up buying a car that I really felt like I should have, only for it to sit in the garage 90% of the time. I would drive it 2 days out of a 7-day week. Out of 7 days, I would drive it 2 days. That was on a Sunday and maybe date night when I was taking my wife out to date. Now I pulled my wife in a Toyota Camry, but now all of a sudden I'm sitting in here and I'm paying $534 a month on a car that only hit the street twice a week. And if it rains that whole week, it may not see the street the whole time. So that's where my buyer's remorse came in. I spent some money that I thought I had, that I knew I had, but when after I purchased it, I didn't feel as good at the time that I bought that item. Have y'all ever experienced that?
I want to add something to that before they speak. So what made you buy that Corvette?
Oh, it was the group that I was around, to be real 100 with you. So the dad that's off screen right now, I bought a car because of him. And the guy that's up here wearing the hat that's up in the top right, I bought it because of him. Because every time I was coming home, these two jokers here had a new car. This dude had a Mercedes when I came home, with silver gray Mercedes. And this dude had he had 6 cars when I came home, so I needed to get at least one. I needed to get at least one car. So it was the people who I was affiliated, not only in my personal circle, which is these 2 guys, but it was also individuals at work. In a week's time, 5 of us at work bought brand new cars. That was $50,000 or more in a week. There was $200,000 sitting in the parking lot, and it was just made of cars. And all of us regretted after the 6th day, we all looked at each other like, man, we should have bought these cars, man. We should have bought these cars. And that's how being in the circle. So I want to ask you guys the same question. Have you ever purchased anything or went out to dinner or whatever to an event or something like that? And after spending the money, thinking that it was going to make you feel better, you come to find out that it really wasn't what you should have done. So I'll just leave that open.
So I feel like when I buy new controllers, they always end up broken because I'm either raging or yeah. I feel like it's just like when I rage, I'm like, dang, now I gotta get a new controller. And then I'll break that, so I don't know what to do. I might just have to feel my anger and all that. But yeah, I definitely feel buyer's remorse with the controllers.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Anybody else want to share?
I think sometimes I feel so. We at our school, at me and my brother's high school, we have this place called the Pack Shack, right? So it's like a place where you just like kind of buy food for like a cheap price, and it's kind of like student-run store. So it was cool. So me and my friends would go there during lunch every day, and like sometimes we didn't even really have to go food. Sometimes we just passed by. We didn't really get food all the time, but like. One day I started getting these cookies because they were like 50 cents for one cookie. So I started getting like 1 or 2 cookies every day. And it was like an everyday thing. Like I kept getting more and more. I kept getting cookies every day. And then I was like looking at my money after the first semester. And I didn't realize how much money I'd been spending on it. So I felt some serious remorse after that because it's not like I wasn't getting lunch already. So I didn't need the cookie, and I had cookies at home or whatever. So I didn't need the cookies, but I think I just got them because other people were getting them, and I just like, I don't know. They were in front of me, so I figured I should. I don't know.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. Anyone else?
Go ahead, Jaden.
Yeah, I just want to say those cookies are actually so good. Like they make them like the way they are like the way they bake them, and I don't even get half the time they're closed, so you can't even like sometimes you can't go to the store. But yeah, the way but I don't know if I don't know. I try to make sure everything I buy is worth it, but I mean, I feel like I can't think of an example right now, but I feel like I have like I've gotten from the store, and it's like it's just not worth it after you start using it. you don't even, you buy it and you don't even put it to use. But
Right.
yeah, I know I've
Yeah.
done it before. I can't think of a specific.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
Alicia and Jaden? All right.
I know Alicia Vice, but I ain't even gonna say it. But go ahead.
Listen. So sometimes I tend to have multiple cravings for different foods at the same time. So sometimes I'll buy like two things from two different restaurants, and then I'll come back home and then get ready to eat it. And then like I'll eat some of it, and then I'll like put it away for storage and then never touch it again.
Okay. I feel you. I feel you.
Yep.
I ate that last one though. Don't worry about it. So
Yeah.
okay.
So you want to say anything? You want to add anything?
You got
Jaden?
it. Go ahead, take the stick.
Yeah.
Me?
Oh yeah.
My
Go ahead.
remorse is probably it's like Jay's. It was when I bought a controller, and I bought the controller because like I didn't have any workable controllers, and I wanted to play the game for once in a while. So I bought a controller, and it wasn't too much, but it still costed me some money. And I ended up only using it once, and now it just sits in my backpack.
Okay.
I just don't have time to be playing the game anymore.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So one thing I want to add to the context of what we just talked about, and is that the same habits we have and we develop in high school that we take in our teenage years. Have you guys noticed something that we take these same habits right into our adulthood? And the only difference is we go from sneakers to Corvettes to cars and houses and these type things. So the reason why we wanted to, touch base with you guys is that as we got older and we got more information about finances and how you manage your finances. And like I love what Jaden was saying about, certain things he if he sees something he wants, he'll work and try to get the money to get it, or he wants to have his own money that when the guys go out places to eat or something, you want to have your own money to spend. So I get that. And just the fact that you guys are conscious of, the prices of things, I think is a good foundation for as you go into your adulthood, having certain financial principles. Like, have you guys had any instances where your friends were out spending money on certain things and you'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not spending money like that on that because that's ridiculous, and you have your own opinion that, even though I see these other people doing that, I'm not doing that. That's I don't even feel comfortable doing that, So anybody got any instances like that? Oh, yeah, unmute if you want to go ahead and talk.
So for me, I went to the mall with my friends. I think it was like about a year ago, and
Okay.
we were just like going into like various places in the mall, and then one of my friends just was like buying like different things in every single store we went to. And, like by the time we finished, he had so many bags, and I was like, nah, I bought like one thing the whole time we were there, and that was it.
Right.
And I was just like with my other friends too. It's like, I don't know, surprised, I guess, because I was like, how do you buy something from every store we went to? So I think that was like the craziest thing. So.
Okay. Gotcha. Anybody else? Go
Yeah.
ahead,
So, before I had my own money, I would get about like $20, maybe even that, to go to like the mall with my friends and stuff like that. And I normally would just get a pretzel and that's all I would buy when I was there. And then I would just be with my friends that would just go around like every store. They would go in the van store and get stuff like $30 shirts, $60 pants. And I'm just like with my $20 and my Auntie Anne's pretzels, just sit there. And I'm like, why are y'all like, why? I've never been a shopping person either. Like, I don't like going to the store and getting stuff. Like, I'm not a big shopping person. I like to eat. So it's just weird seeing a lot of people just buy a lot of like clothes and stuff.
So Lisa, when you saw them buying these items, were they paying cash for it? How were they paying for it?
Sometimes people had their parents' cards. So
okay, that's what I was getting. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
They didn't have cash. If they had cash, there's only like $10, $20 like I have.
Okay, so if they had their own money, do you think they would have been spending it like that if they had to use their own money?
No.
Like money? Okay, right. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, so it's a lot different when the mom and dad give you their credit card and they don't put in you. Does anybody else on the call have that freedom to where
So
mom and
Jay,
dad will give you a credit card and you can just do whatever you want to with it, or a debit card or anything?
so Jay, nice.
Okay.
Getting back to these sneakers. Get back to these sneakers. So do you just go in there and just like, give me the hottest pair on the shelf? What do you do, sir? If your boy, you're on mute, Jay. You're on mute.
Oh, my bad. So, I just like the plain colors, man. Like the black Air Force Ones, white Air Force Ones. But if you're talking about basketball shoes, I definitely get the ones that are popping.
Okay.
And that's based upon the shoe itself and how it's designed and how it helps you play your game, or is it based upon the fashion of the shoe?
This is the fashion of the shoe.
Oh, okay.
Just fashion. Okay. So you said whatever's hot at the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Got you. Okay. Now, for I've heard Nathan and Jaden said they so I guess both of y'all do like little odd jobs around the neighborhood to make money, or do you have a job, Jaden?
Well, Nathaniel's mostly doing, helping people around the neighborhood. Usually I'm at school doing extracurriculars and I'm just like living off gift money or whatever. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. What about you, Leisha?
I work a lot. I try to work as much as I can, even with like all the extracurriculars. I'll try to work a lot, and then basically like money that people give me. But it's mainly the money that I get from working and stuff.
Okay. So what makes you want to work so hard?
I'm actually probably like one of the rare people that actually likes working, because then I can like, it's weird because like I like it because I can show off like my skills and like the job that I'm in, like because like every job that I've like worked at, I've like worked really hard at. So like a lot of people, like a lot of management and stuff compliment me a lot of times. Like even on my first days working at Home Depot, they like complimented me like on the first day and were like, you were doing really good and stuff like that. So yeah. And then I know that like doing that, it gives me money and stuff so that I can like save and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Jalen, you want to add anything to that?
I just work, make as much money as I can as possible.
Okay. So what's your motivation for working?
My motivation, probably, I like improving my social skills. So when I work, I try to go to jobs where I'm like around a lot of people, like retail and like King's Dominion and stuff, so I can better my skills, but I'm also making a good amount of money at the same time.
Okay. All right.
And then another thing with me is like, because I want to go into the business and management section. So like, that's why I try to work really hard at the jobs I'm at, because to like have a higher chance of getting promoted and stuff, so I can have a lot more experience before I go into the field, like other than just like going to college for it. And being in like management roles and like supervision roles and stuff like that will help me know like exactly how it's ran and stuff like that. So
okay. All right. That's fair enough.
I see we got someone joining us. Is it Leah?
Oh, hi, my name's Atalia.
Okay, welcome. You missed so introduce yourself for the group so that way we can get to know who you are.
Well, I'm a junior. I'm 16 and I live in New York. And I was invited by Rohan Thompson to learn about what you guys are speaking about.
Okay. Copy that. All right. Well, welcome. So let's catch you up. So basically, in a nutshell, we're talking about how young adults in this day and age navigate the world of finances, and how sometimes the social circles that you're involved with, whether it be in school or your home lifestyle, or those who you just being familiar with for a long time, how that plays on how you spend or how you are spending at this moment in time. We had asked a couple of questions that, is there anybody in your social circle that tends to have or acquire things that make you want to acquire some of those things? So just to get to know the context of it, have you been in those circles before, or are you in those circles now where you're amongst people who have or are purchasing things, and does that entice you to do the same when you're in that social circle?
I would answer yes. When I'm around, it's very involved with like shoes and clothing, especially in my family. Whenever it's time for us to go anywhere, it's always about, what we're gonna wear or what it is that we're purchasing for this special event. And where I go to school and just like where I live, fashion is a big part, like how you step outside with your clothes and your shoes. That plays a really huge part in how sometimes you're viewed. So I say in small ways I am influenced, not to the major extent to where I feel like I need the newest thing, but I do feel the need to step outside and feel like, I can dress well or I have on the right things.
Okay. So you say where you come from, that is a major thing. Could you elaborate on that? I understand that everyone's environment is different. Some people, the way you come is the way you are, and it's accepted in that social circle. Is that the same in the same context of where you currently reside, or the social circle that you're in?
Remember, she said she's in New York, the fashion central of the world.
I mean, you can go down the street in New York and you could be another ecosystem down the street in New York. You can go over a block over, and these people are rocking that on the next street where everybody is just like, hey, whatevs or whatever. And then you could be on a certain block and everybody's like, hey, if you're on this block, most people in here wearing X from this block. Is that the case for the environment that you find yourself in on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis?
Yeah, I would respond yes to that as well. It really, like you said, where you go, like, it's different style, different like appearances that most people try and come out with. Where I am, it's more so like what shoes do you have on, and it's like, okay, like what's your fit for this or that event? Like it's really important. Like that's just a big factor. Like, oh, what are you gonna wear? And so because everyone kind of has that mindset, it's like, okay, like where should I buy this or where should I buy that? And everyone kind of shops from like the same places. So because everyone uses the same foot website, the sneaker website, the same clothing website, it's like, all right, now I feel obligated to get my shoes from this place or get my clothes from that place because it's popular.
Okay. So my question now is, what happens if you decide you're not gonna follow the trend? How does that play out? Like if you guys didn't, wear stuff that everybody else was wearing, how does that play out when you're in school or in certain social circles? Do you find that you're kind of pointed out, or it's you get a negative reaction when you're not participating in what everybody else is participating in?
Not exactly, because the thing with it is, it's like, it's never explicitly said that you have to shop from this or that place. It's like, okay, I know that everybody got their sneakers from this website. Dang, now I feel like I low-key gotta shop here. So it's never exactly said like, oh, if you're not shopping here, then you're not popping or whatever. So it's never like, oh, if you don't have one of these new kicks, it's not like, oh, you're getting bullied or anything of that sort. It's just like everyone's kind of silenced in what they feel is what they want to wear. And they're kind of like, it's like conformity, really. It really is conformity with a lot of people. So
I like that word, conformity. So it's more like it's subliminal, but everybody's conforming to the environment that they're in. It's not overt, where, as you just stated, you're forced to do it, but it's like it's covert, that by being amongst those people consistently day in and day out, you find yourself getting in within that battle rhythm that they're socially in. So do you find that are you aware that by being in such a covert environment that others, or maybe you experience that people are really pricing themselves out and they really can't afford in some ways to keep up with the Joneses? Maybe I'm dating myself by saying that, but it's really what it is. Do you find that there are some people of your age that
pressure.
that covert peer pressure is putting a pressure on them in a financial way that's causing strain.
Oh yeah, I see that a lot of people you never really know where people are getting the money from, whether it be from parents or whether it be on their own or whatever hustle they got on the side to make it happen.
Right.
So I would say that whatever money they receive, it does play a big part. I know that when people get jobs nowadays, it's really to be able to afford their own clothes and their own shoes instead of trying to hassle their parents to buy that for them. So I would say that financially, money and stuff for us teenagers where I live, that plays a big part in the way you walk in your fashion.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the same thing that we did when me and Rondell were growing up. We same deal. We got jobs so that we could buy some of the things that other people were buying because either one our parents couldn't afford to buy those items, or two, we they refused to buy us those items. They was like, I'm not buying you $100 pair of shoes.
I'm gonna be 100 with y'all guys up here. Every guy on my dad's side of the family is a drug dealer. So my clothes came from my cousins. They were hitting me off with $400 or $500 a pop to go, because I could not even be around them unless I dressed the same way they dress. Now, did I approve of the things that they were doing? No. My mom and dad couldn't afford the clothes that I see some of the people that wore back in the day. There's not a $60, $50 shirt, $50 pair of pants that I can say right now that my father ever bought me. No, my dad was not buying me no $50 pants. He won't buy me no Air Maxes and stuff like that. So those things came from ill-gotten means, whether, one cousin who was sticking up people on the corner, another cousin that was slinging on another corner. And but I never participated in those things. So I can say that there were certain things that I did want in my life that I did not achieve to get in my life until I did start working, like Adrian said. But in the beginning, in the part of my life, there were things that that was done for me to dress the way that I was dressing at a certain point in time, because literally I had a job at a young age, but I didn't have a job at that age to afford the clothes that I was wearing at that age, if that makes any sense. And so looking at the environment that we're in right now, where you got kids wearing Balenciagas, you got kids wearing Gucci, you got kids wearing Fendi, you got kids that's wearing some name brand attire that I can't even pronounce, or they even actually eating at certain restaurants, kids eating at Ruth Chris. I seen a video that a kid refused to eat at some of the restaurants that Alicia are talking about. If it ain't Ruth Chris or some Texas de Brazil or some type of high-end restaurant, that kid was not going to that restaurant. And so therefore he had a taste of what was called the finer things. But we do know that some behaviors start at an early age. And those behaviors can perpetuate throughout your life if you don't know how to navigate finances at an early age. But you were saying, Adrian?
Yeah. So no, I was just saying that we all started at that same point to where we were, to where we wanted to have those things, just like every one of them was talking about. We wanted to fit in, or we wanted. Like my mom bought me one pair of $89 shoes. They were Troops. That was the only expensive pair of shoes at the time that my mom ever bought me. Everything else that I got, they were $89. This was back in the mid 80s. I was in the middle school. I think I was in the 8th grade, and she bought me a pair of 89. Everybody, this was when Troops was big. The shoes Troops. Avery know what I'm talking about. So
he's about the only one, and myself included.
But we got those sneakers, and that was the only thing and I was so proud of those. And to tell you how those shoes made me feel, my mom bought them for me for Christmas, and I knew she hid them in the attic. So I snuck the shit. My dumb behind looking to impress other people at the school, because they were telling the people who were picking on me, saying, "You ain't got no Troops." So I said, "I'm gonna show you." So I snuck the shoes out of the attic, took them to school in my book bag, just to show other people that I have these shoes, that y'all telling me that I don't have. And then, that's just to show you how this stuff can tie into you trying to be accepted by your peers, you know. And back in our time, and I don't think any of y'all have mentioned this, but back in our time, if you didn't have certain things, they picked on you. You know, they pointed you out. If you walk down the hall in a pair of Tonys or something like that that wore Nikes, or our friend, they call them Bobos. You hear Shaq call them Bobos. You know, if you walk down the hall in a pair of them, you could be minding your own business, not even a part of their circle. And these people will pick you out of the crowd and point you out or make a comment just to make you the butt of their jokes. So these were the kind of things that kind of fueled us as we were growing up. But as we now that we have started to learn more as adults, we want to start trying to teach the younger generation about how, you know, you don't always have to keep up with the Joneses. Like me and Rondell, our 12th grade year, we went away from trying to, you know, buy certain things. Like we didn't spend more than $20 for a pair of jeans, even though we may have had a Nautica shirt. We stuck with, you know, white tennis shoes or black, like Jay said. We had white tennis shoes or a pair of tennis shoes. Those went with everything. So we kind of developed our own style to where we fit in, but we won't spend, you know, crazy amounts of money, you know, like some of the other folks were doing. We kind of to develop our own style that was within our budget, that didn't put us in some kind of financial strain or require us to spend all the money that we went and worked for towards a pair of shoes or a pair of things or this. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, after high school, most of these people never see again if it weren't for social media. You know, so the people we're trying to impress in high school, we're trying to establish with you guys and show you guys some different principles that we would have learned at your age when it comes to managing, you know, your finances and how to carry your money from your job, how you save, how you learn how to invest at a younger age. So, and what that does is it allows you more freedom as you get to our age. If we had known some of the things we know now, what I'm trying to teach Alicia, and why we wanted to have you guys on call, that we're talking to your parents, you know, every week we're talking to your parents that tune into this, you know, to our podcast. We want to share with them about how to teach you guys how to manage at this age. So when you get out, you'll be able to decide what you want to do. You know, you won't be able to have to spend, you know, in your 50s, 60s talking about retiring. You'll have a good financial footstep from a young age that you can carry right on in adulthood that most people are not going to have. Because, like I said, we were in the same boat as y'all, and the only difference is as we got older, our toys and things got more expensive. That's the only difference. We were still trying to impress people, still, you know, had that same mindset. You know, so
we're trying to move y'all.
Go ahead, Rondell.
We're trying to move y'all from the point of being just consumers. And I talked to my own nieces and nephews about this. The things that we're consuming, we don't own. We don't own anything that we, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna find yourself in two. You're either gonna find yourself that you own what you're consuming, or you're just a consumer of what you're getting. And what do I mean by consuming? All right, so we got Nikes on the call, we got Crocs on the call, we got Panera Bread on the call, we got some other brands that may be on this call, but we don't own any of those brands or a fraction of any of those things that we consume. That's what I mean by that. And it's like Amazon. I guarantee you that everyone on this call, an Amazon box had came to someone's house at one point in time, that you receive a package from Amazon and you consume whatever that was in that package. Now think about it, you're at the age that you are right now, and you're getting Amazon. You may consume the product, but you don't own any of the person that produced the product. You don't own any of that, which you could, because it's at this day and age, anyone of age that is on this call, you can open up your own investment or retirement account at a certain time in your age. So that way, what you consume, you also own a portion of what you're consuming in there. So that way you can get a return on your investment. And what I mean by a return on your investment, if you bought those J's today, and if they're not the special brand of J's, I give you 5 years from now, and them J's are probably not something that you're going to get a return on besides looking at them in your closet. But if you bought Nike and you continue to buy fractional shares of Nike until you get a bunch of shares, the dividends of what you're going to get from Nike is going to last you longer than the J's that you had on your feet, or the Crocs that you purchased, or whatever designer bag that you may have purchased. Those things are okay and they're nice, but we want to move you into the point where you're no longer just consumers. You own a fractional or own what you're actually consuming. And I talk to my nieces and nephews about that all the time. I have a nephew, he's into Nikes. I have another nephew, he's into cars, certain types of cars, but he owns the shares of the car that he likes, to include the car that he likes to drive also, because we're trying to move him past just having things or consuming things, but to actually having it to as if you own that fractional shares. And that's the whole purpose of this group. You're the future. You're going to be the next ones that come behind us. You're the next ones that are going to be pumping money into this economy. You're going to be the ones that are going to go out here and make a difference in this world, whether it be entrepreneurs, whether it be managers or corporate CEOs or CFOs and things of that nature. But understanding that the world finances does play a role in this world at a young age, you'll be light years ahead for those who are just starting to learn it like myself. I really didn't start digging into this financial realm about 5 years ago. I've always been a great saver. Don't get it twisted. Your boy can save $1, but managing that dollar, that's a totally another different thing. And you'll find yourself, once you start learning about those things, where you notice that, okay, I bought these Yeezys and I also own part of Adidas. Now that Adidas realize they got to sell $1.5 billion worth of Yeezy shoes. So if you own that stock and that stock was down and you bought some more shares, and now it's going to go back up because now they're selling Yeezys again. Now the investment that you put in, not only into the shoe that you own, but the stock that owns the shoe is going to triple or quadruple in another couple of years, because now Yeezy's back on that Adidas contract. So those are some of the tools and tips that we want to leave with you or talk to you about, if you're willing to let us in your world and continue to have these conversations. Over to you, Adrian.
Yeah, so that's what this whole thing was about, guys, is just we wanted to understand what you guys are going through from the standpoint of your day-to-day circles, what influences your decisions, when you think about spending, because when you're thinking about spending, that involves money. That involves how you manage money. That involves how you think about money. Like Leisha was saying earlier, the friends that she had that were pulling out the parents' credit card or whatever, they had they didn't know what some of you guys have seen before is what they call credit cards. So most of us, because we're used to mom and daddy buying stuff from us for us when we don't have the money to get it, as we get older, credit cards jump into the picture, and then they take the place of mom and daddy because they allow you to buy things, with money that you don't have. So that's why we want to kind of educate you guys early on that, learning to manage your wants versus needs. I heard a couple of y'all talk about that before. Like I think it was Nathan that said, he just wanted them. He didn't need the cookies, but he just wanted them because, he saw them. He walked by them. He said he realized that he didn't need them. So when we start to have that realization of things that we need, like a lot of y'all, like you got shoes. Like some of y'all may have upwards of 15 pair of shoes in your closet. Some of you may have more than that. So at what point do you look in your closet and say, you know what? I don't, this another pair of shoes is not really going to do me any good. Like I can go 15 days and not wear the same pair of sneakers, So at what point do you say enough is enough, that I want to put this money somewhere else? I'm going to save this money and put it towards a college. I want to put this money towards, so when I go off to college, I've got my own money saved up that I can use to spend, and I don't have to rely so much on mom and daddy to send me money while I'm in school. Things that you can start doing that'll prepare you for the next chapter when you're out on your own, and those type things. So, but that's all. We're not going to hold you guys because we're already at 8:03. But we just wanted to,
Yeah, I'm
talk
old,
to you
bro.
guys.
8:30, I'm down.
We just wanted to talk to you guys and find out what you guys are experiencing, how you guys view certain things, and we hope this has been beneficial to you guys as well. That you guys I don't know if most people don't. You guys probably don't get an opportunity to talk to most people about these type things and talk about finances and how that plays a role in the way we think. But we think it's very beneficial because it's going to help you out in the long run. So we'll continue to do these. Like I said, we thank you guys not only for you guys joining us, but we also want to thank your parents for allowing you guys to participate with us tonight. And we hope that this has been beneficial to you. And we would love to continue doing these type sessions with you guys if you guys are open to it. And like I said, we can expand it, and we'd love to just hear from you guys, and just to get you guys to where you guys are at a point where maybe y'all have your own little groups where y'all talking about finances and talking about saving and doing your own things, because nobody out here is doing this for people your age, and you guys are the future. You guys are the next ones that's going to be coming through, and the sooner you can understand this stuff and get your head wrapped around it, I tell you that you're looking at people that are our next group of millionaires as far as us, as a people. Because once we have this understanding, because we don't have anything, because we spend everything we get. So, and now that we've got an understanding of what we should be doing and how to be stewards of what God has blessed us with, we think we can change things. So that's what me and Rondell are all about, is trying to share the knowledge that we got. We didn't get this till we was in our 40s, guys. You guys are getting this in your teens and in your 20s. And if you take this and really put your head wrapped around it and, pray on this thing and ask God to reveal some wisdom and knowledge to you, and I guarantee you that he's going to show you guys some things that are going to change your perspective on things and make you a great blessing to a lot of people. So with that being said, guys, we thank you guys. And like I said, we thank your parents, and we thank you guys for joining us. We thank you guys for participating. And
I thank you for validating the word fit. That is a word that they use for dressing also, that how we dress out. I thought I was dating myself, but fit is still valid.
Yeah. So, but with that being said, guys, we thank you, and we'll reach out to you guys again in the future. If any of you guys ever want to participate with us again, we are more than welcome to have you guys on, because I think this has probably been one of our best sessions we've had in a long time.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed talking to each and every one of you guys, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, so, thank you for your different perspectives and being transparent tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And we hope this will be a blessing to others. So with that being said, guys, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you again. You guys have a good evening.